So
addendum. We usually do these things on recipe.
this is
Anyway.
this is our first time doing this recipe, so we will see how this one goes. We are going to be starting by making the dough.
Because it has to rest for half an hour. You can't open that cabinet.
I needed something from behind that. I needed a
you
measuring cup for water.
Cups aren't on that cabinet. Here, measuring cup.
Okay. So, starting out with, if you want to measure out 2.5 cups of flour into the bowl. I'll get the water heating up again over here. It wants hot water, 130 to 150 degrees. Yeah. And salt. And salt. There's steaming water. Set that down. So, for the dough, place the flour and kosher salt in the mixing bowl. Slowly pour in the hot water and stir with a spoon until mixture forms a shaggy dough.
Okay.
So I suppose you'll want the spoon. Do you want me
This
to?
is not a full cup, by the way.
Yes, if only that's what the thing is better for. The actual measuring cup.
This is a measuring cup.
The liquid measuring cup is more useful for liquids. That was also much faster than you were probably supposed to pour the water in.
Now what?
You slowly pour in the water and it should form a shaggy dough.
Done. Now what?
Flour your hands and transfer dough to a work surface and knead it until it becomes smooth and elastic. You got your work surface wet.
Okay.
Put down some flour.
Does it say knead on surface or just knead?
It says if you want to just knead it in the bowl, you can. We do that with other things like the what do you call them?
So as long as it doesn't say knead on surface.
It says to knead on the surface.
Then that's what I asked. Put it down.
Transfer dough to a work surface.
Flour hands.
Oh,
Okay. Whoa.
sorry. Clearly, it's evident that this is one we haven't practiced. That's okay. I'm trying to think. What are the I've completely forgotten the name of the thing with the yogurt and the eggs.
Naan.
Naan. That's it. Naan's supposed to get kneaded on the surface, but I generally do it just in the
Bowl.
In the bowl. Yeah.
Knead until what?
Until it is smooth and elastic. If it's too sticky, sprinkle it with flour, but 3 to 5 minutes of kneading.
Can't believe you read that out.
Can't believe I forgot what naan was called. Jesse and I have been dealing with paperwork today. I suck at spreading out flour.
Yeah.
It's like I have very little experience actually baking things. Okay, 3 minutes.
This is going to aggravate my wrist.
Do you need me to do it?
You don't know how to do
I
it. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to need an Advil when I'm done with this.
I can do what you're doing there. I do know how to knead dough. If you would like your wrists to be okay at the end of this. being said, you do have a better idea of how to work dough than I do.
I do need you to pull up my sleeve now that it's fallen down, though.
Is it becoming smooth and elastic?
I don't really know what elastic means.
You're building up gluten bonds in it. It's like pizza dough.
There you go.
Elastic. You want something that will stretch slightly and then return to its previous shape.
This is not doing that.
Well, you've got another 2 to 4 minutes left.
Ugh. Flour.
Oop.
Just a little.
You mean I'm not supposed to just dump the entire thing onto the surface?
Oop.
Would you like to tap out and
No.
have me take over?
Although if you could find the step stool, it'd be super fantastic if I could get higher than this so I didn't have to stand up on my
I think
toes.
it's down in the basement at the moment. Yeah, we were using it downstairs. It's okay, you've got like 40 seconds left.
No, I've got until the dough behaves.
You've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left at the most. You probably don't want to incorporate any more flour into it if it's not sticky.
It's not sticky.
Okay, then you don't want to put any more flour.
But I have to keep the surface from sticking.
If it's not sticky, it shouldn't stick to the surface either. What I'm saying is that if you put too much flour in,
I know.
I was trying to say it for the stream. If you put too much flour in, it doesn't work properly for becoming elastic. That's what I was trying to say. Here. Are you done? Hey, that is on its way towards being elastic. Can you set a timer for a minute for me? Yeah. Working dough is a workout. What?
From this direction in this light, I can watch the entire counter flex as you do that.
This house.
Yeah.
Everything is so close to being correct. That being said, when the timer goes off, hey, that is good. Okay, so we're supposed to let this rest for half an hour. Bop.
More
Right?
specifically, wrap dough in plastic and let it rest 30 minutes.
Okay. Can you assist?
Break off You're going to need a much bigger piece of plastic
That's-
than that.
Not a much bigger, please. It's wrapped. There we go. I was planning on wrapping it and then cutting it off. next we start working on the meat after I set a timer for half an hour. So the recipe calls for garlic, green onions, ginger, which I would actually like to leave out if you're okay with that.
Why? Because we don't have anything but dry?
No, we've got some. It's just, I don't know. I'm not in a ginger mood. I suppose we can use it.
How about just a tiny bit of ginger powder then, instead of the frozen?
Okay, that's fair. But we've got green onions. I wanted to put a bit of the basil in.
Okay. Red pepper.
What was that? Red pepper we wanted to put in. You're right, the little frozen thing I put into the freezer and it expanded, as ice does. Do you want some garlic scapes in it? In addition to the garlic. Okay, and then, let's see. Okay. We have some cabbages that we have waited entirely too long to use. Let's just unwrap.
Alright, how much stuff do I need?
Total. Let's see. It calls for a half a cup of finely chopped green onions, 3 tablespoons of minced fresh ginger, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, a teaspoon soy sauce. I think that's a mistake on the recipe. A teaspoon of sesame oil, 1.5 cups of finely chopped green cabbage, although don't want to use that much. This cabbage is not okay the whole way through.
All of those cabbages are no longer crispy. They
Okay.
are still perfectly valid, and we will still use them.
Well,
They're just not crispy anymore. That is what a wilted cabbage looks like.
okay. Well, I am going to peel off the outer couple of layers.
Yes, definitely.
So, what were you mincing up? Some of the garlic scapes?
Because I want them super duper tiny.
Are
Because
you
an entire garlic scape in a bite of a Potsticker would be
Would be a bit much. Are you done with the garlic scapes then?
almost.
I mean, can I put these ones back in the
Yes,
freezer?
you can put them back.
Okay. That was my question. Sorry.
Going to get more than this.
Yep, I'm gonna. Oh, you need larger than that. And we have just over a pound of pork.
Okay.
So. How many garlic cloves would you like in this?
How many does it call for?
4.
Then 3.
Okay. Do you want to mince them up tiny as well? I know, the pickled
Hate
garlic.
how strong that smells.
The pickled garlic smells incredibly strong, but tastes surprisingly mild. You do have some large pieces stuck to the side of the knife that you can see. Okay. Just trying to be helpful.
Did you get out the red pepper to the amount that you want?
How much red pepper would you like?
I don't know. Part of this is, I suppose, is predicated on how much cabbage I can salvage, which means I probably should have started there. But
Probably not. I don't think a ton of this cabbage is going to be salvageable. Which, oh, what a shame.
yeah, well, I like cabbage.
Yeah, well. I just broke this container.
No, it is a dollar store Tupperware.
It is a dollar store Tupperware container.
It's going to happen sooner rather than later.
How about what I have... Do you want a bit more than that?
Just good.
There we go.
Now, the recipe tells you to actually prep the filling first and then put into the fridge until it gets cool, so like an hour. But since we're using mainly frozen ingredients, we figured we shouldn't have to wait that long for it to get cold.
Yep.
Everything's going to be cold and already.
Everything's
Which is
gonna
why
be
we're
very
doing it
chilly.
in this order, because you didn't want to watch us vamp for half an hour while the dough sat.
Yeah.
The dough sitting is actually an important thing that must happen. Not so much this, I think.
We're,
These aren't getting any smaller.
well, I did cut them up
They
pretty
are
fine.
pretty fine. I'm not really getting them any smaller doing this.
That's
They're just moving apart.
Well, breaking them up is also important.
Yeah.
How much of the basil would you like to put in?
Not a lot. It's strong
So-
Thai basil. Like 6-7 leaves.
Here. Tiny pile. You want it, yeah. You'll want to mince that up real good. At least I did freeze the basil properly.
Yes. Basil did get frozen properly.
We actually have someone watching the stream. Hello to the
Hooray.
one person watching the stream. We hope you are enjoying it.
Even though we don't really talk.
Well,
We tell important things that happen. but,
yes.
You know. I'm not going to try to talk while chopping, because that's how you lose fingernails.
Or, you know, finger parts with the fancy knives. It calls for a chunk of green onion.
Well, half whatever it calls for.
Well.
Green onion.
Calls for half a cup of green onion.
Okay, well, you can do like a third.
My green onions are also already
Yes.
partly chopped. I'm going to give you a little bit more. That should be fine. Put those away. And for doing the pot stickers, the smaller the things get minced, the better. You definitely want a more homogeneous feel. You're kind of blocking the view with your other hand.
Yeah, but I have to hold the stuff down.
Well, not when you're doing that.
Well, no, not when I'm doing
We have been experimenting with where to put the camera. This feels a bit better this time.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you showed that green onion who's boss. Are you doing okay still?
Mm-hmm. It's a little hard to tell if I cut them adequately because they're all frozen and sticking.
Yeah.
But
That seems
it's
fine.
all that good.
It seems pretty good. Smells nice.
Mm-hmm.
definitely want to take off the outer couple of leaves of that.
Well,
That's the spirit.
they mainly just got kind of dry along the edges.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to earlier.
Give me one of the other ones.
I did suggest that one was maybe beyond using.
It's not beyond using. I just
Beyond
want to see if
using.
the other ones are better. Yeah, that one's actually fairly good.
Although I want to take off those outer couple of leaves. Yes. There. That one is significantly better.
Oh yeah, that sounds like proper cabbage when you cut it.
Do you want to cut out the center bit?
Yeah, well,
Now remember, we're trying to mince this very fine.
Yeah.
That'll be more than enough.
no, that's like a cup of cabbage.
Um,
Calls
Yeah.
for a cup and a half. Once I
And-
mince this,
we were planning on using a bit less than what it called for.
yeah, this will end up being a cup. Calls for a cup and a half.
Okay.
That's 2/3. That's less. Now, I am pulling out the rib parts because I don't like that part of cabbage nearly as well.
Yes, definitely take out all the ribs.
So the really thick ones. I know that's a very strange thing to do, and anything ever tells you to do, but I personally do that. Mainly I do that in coleslaw because I don't like the texture difference, but also with this, it'll be easier to mince it if I don't have that super hard section
I'm gonna
to
toss
try
it.
to deal with. Yeah, you can toss that one. Because then I can just put all the leaves in a stack.
You can get them minced like that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because cabbage is good for you.
I don't know.
It is.
You say that, but I don't want to believe it.
Well, I'm not the only one who says it. And that's the important part.
I suppose that's true. Hey, look, we've already been vamping for 13 minutes while the dough has been doing its thing.
That's good. Really would like to pull the actual Santoku knife out of your kit because this one is slightly small for this amount of chopping. I would love to be able to do.
Hypothetically, I actually have a Santoku downstairs with my name on it.
Yeah, with your name on it.
Yeah.
So as long as you're okay with me using it for cooking.
No, I'd probably prefer that
Yeah,
one
that's
saved
what I
with the other.
thought. That's in the museum. That has a lovely Cutco museum downstairs of all the weird things they've made and cool stuff they've made.
And specifically that they don't sell anymore.
Mhm.
And also my personal trophy.
Mhm.
I have the cups so that we can actually measure this out. You need to switch off. I can do this.
No,
Okay?
I'm making potstickers.
Okay?
As I said, I'm just going to need an anvil and I'm done.
Okay. you gotta chop it again. Okay, now let's actually measure out. Because this is more than you think it is.
No, it's not.
There's
No.
one-
That's not a full cup.
Well, that's fine then. There. Okay, was there anything else that we wanted to put in it? I believe that was all of the things.
Those
Except for the
actual like juices,
the
sauces,
juices.
stuff. Yeah, it's not juice. It's vinegar and soy sauce.
The vinegar does not go in this bag. That's for the dipping sauce.
Well, it probably wouldn't be bad.
Actually, it wouldn't if you want to put a tiny bit in.
I would recommend a tiny bit of brown rice vinegar into this.
Okay.
Since it's out on the counter anyway.
Since it is out on the counter. This measuring spoon is sticky.
Well, then let's use a different one.
Let's use a different one. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of soy sauce.
The low sodium soy sauce.
Yes.
That's better for you.
2 tablespoons. And then a teaspoon of sesame oil.
I need the teaspoon.
Wait, and a pinch of the.
It calls for a pinch of cayenne. I don't do that.
we use Aleppo because it's got the flavor of red pepper flakes without the heat. And then,
the pork.
well, you wanted the vinegar, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you put a teaspoon of vinegar?
Well, I wasn't gonna put a teaspoon.
Okay,
Do like
put-
half.
Yes, and then the pork.
It looks nice and colorful.
It does. And we are using just over a pound of pork.
Mix up.
Yep, mix it up real good. And then after you get it mixed up real good, that will want to go in the fridge for the 12 minutes. Seems good.
Smells garlicky.
It does. Also smells vinegary. That's the other thing you're smelling. The rice wine vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you want to make, the Rice Krispie treats while we're waiting?
How many minutes do we have for the dough to
11.
rest? Oh yeah, we could totally make Rice Krispie treats in the downtime. See, we thought ahead for you. It's
Yes.
not just a blank screen with us talking about whatever we feel like.
So, I am going to move the camera. And hey, I've got it on the moving the camera screen now.
Do.
Oh, that one's a bit okay. Let's see. And tilt down. There we go. So, what goes into Rice Krispie treats, Jesse? How much margarine, as the box say.
Directions.
It's
Oh,
right.
there it is. 3 tablespoons for 6 cups of Rice Krispies. So we have to figure out how much Rice Krispies we have left in this first.
Okay.
Then we measure.
Okay. Well, you've got the measuring cup right over here. It's actually accessible now. Here, though, I actually want the 1 cup measuring.
Bowl.
Big bowl. I can tilt this.
There we go.
There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. So
we'll have almost another batch left.
So how many tablespoons?
3. Otherwise, we can do a larger batch now and make it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Oh wow, I've never actually read the proper Rice Krispies recipe.
Yeah.
They actually specify 1 package, 10 ounces, jet puffed marshmallows, or 4 cups, jet puffed mini marshmallows. I did not know you had to measure the marshmallows.
Oh, it worked fine last time
I know,
without
I know.
measuring the marshmallows. You can just do it that way again.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I'm just kind of curious as to whether this will be 4 cups.
Oh, okay.
So I want to measure.
You need another bowl? There you go.
Just
Ah.
They're right. The mini marshmallows. You don't need a whole package to equal 4 cups. I'm gonna do 5 cups and keep the rest for myself.
Okay. Marshmallows and margarine go into the stock pot on medium heat.
Not that these are wet enough. Do you want to just use the whole thing?
Yes.
There'll be extra marshmallow here.
Oh no, extra marshmallow and Rice Krispie treats. What a terrible thing.
Can't actually see down into the thing very well.
Well, if I move it over.
There. There you go. That's better.
What?
Got my finger at some point.
Was it with the knife?
No, it was probably on the back of the bowl. It's on the back of my knuckle. I would know if I cut my finger on the knife.
Yes, everything would be tinted red.
Yes.
My arms are sore from all the shoveling snow lately. And there'll be more to deal with later.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, center is important. Oh yes, we're going to need a thing to put that in.
Yes.
Which is up here.
Can you get...
It's more difficult without the step stool, but not impossible.
Will it fit in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last batch was 9 cups.
Okay. Oh,
This
the last
is only
one.
6.
Okay. That explains it then. Like, I remember the last batch being bigger.
I should pan this though, right?
Yes. That does help. That is going to be a hot surface slightly. Can you just put it on?
That's a ceramic, whatever.
I meant just don't burn yourself. Marshmallows. I got the thing off.
Oh.
Marshmallows are almost melted.
Melty, melty, melty.
Melty, melty, melty. There again, there. I'm gonna have you take over for the next step.
For the actual me putting the things in, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm better at folding.
Well, sometimes.
I'm basically almost always better at folding.
No, sometimes you suck at folding. Like with making popovers. You tend to fold entirely too hard. At which point it's just mixing but inefficient.
Thank you.
Case in point, this isn't folding. This is just mixing.
That is not very marshmallowy.
No. Turns out there might be a reason that they requested Jetpot. That is, I am very glad that we used the whole package of marshmallows. That's kind of sad.
Oh, and different recipes do different
Different amounts.
ratios.
Do we want to move the computer back over here, by the way?
For the actual rolling out little dough balls and
Yep.
forming things, oh yeah. People are going to want to actually see what that looks like.
I will prep things on this side.
Granted, I would also kind of like to see what that looked like before I try it. That's okay.
That's okay. It's Rice Krispie treats.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that that bit is done, I'm going to move the camera again. Okay, let's switch that back. USB. There we go. Probably should let that go the last 3 minutes. So when the dough has rested, divide into 4 equal pieces. Cover 3 pieces with a dishcloth while you work with the first piece. Roll into a small log the thickness of a thumb, about 3/4 inch. Divide each log into 6 equal pieces. Roll each piece into 3.5 inch circle on a lightly floured surface to form the wrappers. Oh,
Camera's not working.
oh, is the camera not working?
Nope.
Let's see here.
Bing.
Interesting.
It's not on.
Oh,
look, my phone's ringing.
Well, this might be
Hello, Danny.
interesting.
I'll have to call you back when I'm done making Potstickers.
Well, I guess we're just going to be doing this on the actual computer camera. Let me just move some things. Okay, so apparently the USB camera
Will not reconnect?
will not reconnect.
That's okay.
Okay.
I can deal with only that much space. That's fine.
Okay. So timer off. So you can use the box.
Use the Rice Krispie box for a little bit of height, which will help the view.
Oh yeah, that is like dough. Cool.
And it doesn't really matter if I have cabbage bits on here, although it does seem fairly clean.
Well, the cabbages would be best not to have on the outside of the thing for the frying step. and lightly flour the surface. I will grab... Oh, you have a towel.
Yeah. That's why there's always one right there.
It's like you thought ahead or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lightly
Roll
flour the
into
surface.
a small log about the thickness of a thumb.
Roll into a small log.
No. Roll.
Roll.
No, that's like making a snake.
Okay.
How would you make a round thing with a rolling pin, Jesse?
It just said thickness.
Yes,
Oh,
but
shush.
log implies...
Also,
log implies round.
cylindrical?
Cylindrical, yes. Wobble, 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 wobble.
Keep going.
Yup. Wobble, wobble, wobble. There. So this is what they mean by the dough being elastic, by the way. It wanting to go back into the shape it was in. Let's get in there.
Want it to go faster? Roll on both sides. Although it's not.
Although it's not working that way.
This is too slick.
Yes, that's why I was doing it this way. I tried that first.
I was just gonna pull. You do that. I'll pull.
That actually helps. Okay. You know what? That's...
What next? That'll tell me whether it's done enough or not.
Next. Divide it into 6 equal pieces. And then turn it into a 3.5-inch circle
Okay.
with the rolling pin.
Knife? Butter knife?
I don't know where I set that butter knife down.
Right there.
Oh, wow. So, is that halfway?
Mm-hmm. Keep going. Okay.
That end was... Should have made that end one bigger.
Three and a half inches. Huh?
Womp, 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 womp.
I don't know what 3.5 inches looks like. I'm thinking that's close. Of course, when I stop rolling, it goes back.
3.5 inches.
Okay.
It's 4.
It's a square.
It's a square.
And it will
That's-
totally be a square.
That's
Now,
probably fine.
I do all of them. It's not like, no, I'm doing one
No,
at a
you
time.
do all of them, yeah.
Okay.
You want the whole stack, because then we're going to be making the actual dumplings with them. But I believe it only wants us to do the 4th at a time so that it doesn't dry out overly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to steal my Rice Krispie treat while we're waiting.
This is going to be a very loud podcast for y'all.
Mhm.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit dubsteppy. Womp, 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 womp.
It's just too small to do my normal back and forth
Mm-hmm.
rolly motion. I'm used to aiming for thickness, not width. These are super.
Elastic.
Yeah.
We may have over kneaded them ever so slightly. give it. Yeah, that one's a little small. I cut that one wrong. I apologize.
But it's our most circular one yet.
Well, if I just squish them into rough circles before you start rolling them out, I think that'll help.
There.
That is actually pretty good looking. Here. I'm proud of you, Jesse. You can't get too close to the edge because there's a lip on our counters.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's like we're figuring out what we're doing as we go.
Mm-hmm. I don't even technically have to turn. The dough kind of turns underneath as I roll.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
That one's...
See if you can get that one a bit bigger, because
That's only 3.
yeah. I'll just leave that there for you. You're definitely going to have some odd-looking pot stickers, but yeah, that's okay. You can actually put those all on a pile.
I don't... Yeah.
Because we're gonna run out of counter space. Okay, I can start working on the next piece.
Hey, that's...
That one actually looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. There's a definite textural difference between the outside of this log and the inside. Do we even need to do that?
What?
This?
Yes.
Okay. Wonder why.
To get them into even pieces.
I can do that without logging them.
Um,
I wonder if there's an actual reason for logging them.
my guess is that this would be another kneading step.
Well, if they're being like this, we might not actually want that bad.
Well,
I'm just saying we should try one of them without doing that and see what happens.
okay.
It's much thicker over here.
Yeah.
Try not to giggle.
Happy Valentine's Day. Was not expecting this part of it. Well, that end just does not want to shrink. There. Okay, there we go. There we go. I will flatten them into the balls like I did last time. That's looking that's working much better.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited with how this will turn out. Like, this is been a somewhat fun process figuring it out. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the next step. Or how you actually build these things. I will start working on the next log. Well, you're dealing with that.
Got it. Some of these totally look like pot sticker rounds. And some of these
Right?
totally don't.
Well, I suppose this is why you can just, buy pot sticker wrappers.
Mm-hmm. Because it's so much easier than
That would be
this.
so much easier than doing it by hand.
But we can say we had
Yes.
completely homemade pot stickers. This motion works surprisingly well for making them round and turning them under me now.
That's good.
You're not really good at the whole 2/3 estimate part.
Well, no. I was actually trying to make the end ones a bit longer, since they are skinnier. That was intentional, not exactly correct.
Well, and it wasn't still. So
I see how it is.
that's all right, dear. We know that your spatial reasoning skills are slightly low.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I play Tetris with the car when we pack.
Yes. Hey, although I can get my whole booth in the car.
You can. You can get your entire Cutco booth into our little Subaru.
Once you get the hang of it, though, it is kind of a relaxing thing.
Well, I mean, people made snakes out of Play-Doh for years as children. It has to be a reason
Right?
for it.
Because they're easy.
And relaxing, as you said.
It's not a snake, it's a legless lizard.
Good,
Completely,
because I don't like snakes in my house.
completely different thing. And this one's and that other one's an eel. And the next one will be a wolf eel, which is not actually an eel, just a very long fish. Hey, perfect timing, just about.
For what?
I'm almost done with this one as
Oh.
we finish that.
I told Mom about these, right?
About what?
These.
This show?
Yeah.
I don't think you ever did.
Hmm.
Should probably do that.
Yeah.
Could have another viewer. Although we do put them up on the Knife Gentleman YouTube page as well.
Yeah.
So,
So she can get to them.
yes. And there have actually been a number of views on that, so.
So everybody should know how to make a meatloaf that doesn't suck now.
Mm-hmm. You know what they say, stream like nobody's watching. Okay, so let's get that ready. Oops. So the next step, by the way, is to take a wet finger and moisten the edges of the wrapper. Then you put a scoop of the pork mixture in the center, fold up the sides, and crimp it and make it pot sticker shape. We can probably, well, depending on how big these are, our skillet will probably hold more than it suggests.
We do have big.
We do have the big skillet. So I will get the meat mixture out. That smells tasty. Okay. So, let me grab a spoon.
And of course, this recipe did not come with a picture to tell you how much filling per thing. So it's basically just however much you can fit in with proper crimping.
Yeah, so
there's going to be a lot of flour on the outside of these, so you definitely want a good water on the edge.
yeah, there we go. Okay. So crimp. Hey, look at that. I could put more. I could have put more into that. But that is a pot sticker shape.
Mm-hmm. That is a pot sticker shape.
You're so big the rest of them go nearly that well. Okay. So that's probably fine. Yes. Yes.
Because you can push it in from one side after you've got the other side crimped.
That was ever so slightly more than I should have used.
Okay. That's a small one.
Yes, well, so you saw how much meat that was. You can scoop things for me. Okay.
Come on, you stupid beep.
There we go. Yeah.
You want to make sure the water gets all the way to the edge.
Yeah.
That way you can do a little bit of fold over if you get too much stuff.
Here. I can take just the tiniest bit more meat in there. Yep, just like that.
This does smell really good.
It does smell really good, yes.
Unfloured.
I'm putting more water area on. That will help. I did want us to try and curve them slightly.
Okay.
But if you can without destroying them.
I'm trying to think of a way to
There's not a good way to do it. I just need to do it as I cramp apparently. Here you go. I feel like we're going to have more meat mixture than
dough?
dough.
Yeah, definitely.
I blame all the cabbage.
Well, we also had more than a pound of pork in here.
We had 1.06 pounds of pork, so not that much more than a pound. That too much. It's okay. The dough stretches.
Mhm.
Not an unlimited amount, though.
No, but it does stretch.
This is a small one.
That is a small one.
Oh, that's okay. We can just cover the rest of the dough and either make more pot sticker dough tomorrow,
You
or
could also just cook it.
I was gonna say, or just cook it.
Yeah, we're gonna do a nice saute with it. Add it to some rice or something.
Yeah, I feel like the amount of dough that this recipe.
There's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of them over there.
Okay, that's too much again. This is just gonna be an ugly one.
That's, you gotta take more out of it.
No, I don't. It's closed.
Is it gonna stay closed though?
I don't know, but I think so. I'm willing to. Here, a small one. I'm willing to bet that it will stay mostly closed. Closed enough. That's entirely too much for that one. There we go.
Itty bitty one.
Itty bitty one. Man, whoever cut this dough to size really whiffed on some of these ones. That guy should be ashamed of himself. And this, again, this is why we try our recipes before sharing, usually.
But this one was nice and complicated, so we figured it would take up a nice full stream and be interesting. So.
The other recipe we were planning on doing on Valentine's Day, we realized has like one step.
Put a bunch of things in casserole dish.
Well, no,
smooth out, bake.
You cook the breadcrumb stuff first.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It would not have been a very interesting stream, though.
Still might
Delicious food, but...
Still might do that one later.
Oh, yeah, we'll
Just-
do it on a...
Here, I need some out. I need to dry off that space where I'm working.
So it stops sticking to the counter.
Yep.
Too much water drippage.
Yep. Okay. These are cute.
Mm-hmm. They're potstickers, of course. Aha, see? I can't stack.
You can. That's the first two of them that were at all, what do you call it? Stuck together. Yeah.
You should probably turn slightly for the next one so that your hand isn't blocking what you're doing on the stream.
Okay.
That should be smaller.
Yes, that's a small one. Like that.
Yeah. That way they can see the pinch process.
Pinch, pinch, pinch. You know, if these work, you know what I realized we should make at some point?
What?
Tuna pot stickers. Like putting,
Tuna potstickers?
we could put most of the rest ingredients that we put into poke. into it.
Alright.
You can put anything into a pot sticker.
Well, anything that'll cook under the frying and steaming conditions
Yeah.
of pot stickers.
But considering that we eat tuna raw,
True. Four more?
yes.
Definitely have
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, that is about half of the meat mixture.
Slightly over half the meat
2/3.
got used.
Yeah.
But we did add some extra stuff, so.
Yeah. As we said, we can either fry it up on its own later, or
That one's not connected. Right there. Right there. Not connected.
there.
Oh, no. It just broke.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Square ones should at least be somewhat easier, theoretically.
No, they're more difficult.
Aw.
Significantly more difficult. You would think that, but
But there's a reason they tell you
Yes.
to make them round.
yes.
Last one.
Turn. Thank you. Good enough. Okay. So, have all of our little pot stickers made.
Time to wash our hands.
I did.
I know.
Okay, let's see here. Heat the oil in skillet over medium-high heat. Let's see here.
Now we move it back to the oven.
Yes, so let me change the camera thing. There we go.
Oven.
Yay for figuring out that I can do a message on Twitch. Okay. So
That way people don't have to get dizzy.
yeah, people don't have to get dizzy.
6 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Or close enough. Medium high. Let that heat a moment. Steal another bite of my Krispie treat. Because I have no self-control, Jesse. I think at this point, trying to fix them, you're going to be more likely to break them.
I'm just making sure they're all sealed. And they're not sticking together. Because some of them are sticking together.
Okay.
They got sent too close to each other.
Ah. Okay. So we put them on here on the medium-high heat and cook until bottoms are golden brown, about 2 minutes. Then we add water
And steam.
and steam.
So can we fit all of them, do you think?
No, probably can fit half.
Because they
of them.
can't be touching, right?
You don't want to be touching.
Okay, so then we should just do half.
Yeah, half at a time.
While you do that, I'm going to put the meat leftovers in Tupperware
Yes.
and put in fridge.
move these to a plate real quick so that I can bring over half of them at a time.
Unfortunately, our thing is tilted, so
That's okay.
ones on this side will get covered in oil in a way that the other ones won't.
I'll shake them in a second. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How many's over there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11.
12, 13.
Okay.
That way it'll actually be only needing 2 bags.
Okay. 2 minutes, and then we put in a bit of water. I don't think this recipe actually specifies how much water to put in.
Yeah, it does. On the front page. 8 tablespoons.
Okay.
It says 8 tablespoons for steaming divided, which I don't know what that means. But.
Yeah, that's not a helpful. There's one after.
Especially because if you put water in this oil while it's still in there, which means I think we only needed half that amount of oil for each batch.
Well, that's okay. The oil can stay.
Yeah, but if you put water in there, it's going to explode.
No, it won't. It'll be fine. That's why it says quickly cover.
Okay, well, I'm going to go stand over here.
That's fine.
Out of the way.
That is a perfectly fine thing to feel.
I don't like splattering oil anyway.
Why? You don't like grease fires in the kitchen?
No. But that's okay. There's an extinguisher over there and over there.
Okay, these are actually working. They're looking golden brown on the bottom.
Good.
How long does it cover for? 1 to 2 minutes. Or no, steam for 3 minutes. Okay, so I put the water in when that timer goes and cover it and give it 3 minutes. Then I take the lid off and let it evaporate.
Okay.
I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
Oh my god. As they go pop, 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 pop.
This appears to be working pretty well.
Good. And at least with that method, as opposed to like deep frying, if the bits on the top come apart, it's not like everything's going to fall out and go
Yeah.
everywhere. Because I think like 2 of these are going to do that.
Like this one.
That one and
That
a couple
one.
of places.
That's okay. It will be
Two's
fine.
not bad.
Yeah, 2's not bad for having things go weird.
Mm-hmm.
I am very excited about actually eating these. Whoosh. What?
My thought was, now Matt, remember you have too much hair to stick your face close to things.
Not for long, I don't, apparently.
At least it sounds not all boily.
I don't know how well your microphone picks up the boiliness, unfortunately.
Not at all.
Mm.
But that's why we bought the better camera. But
Yeah.
now we know you can't disconnect it halfway through.
That is fine. I can just leave it plugged in all the way through next time.
Well, just if we have to go from there to there, we're
You
gonna
can just
figure
come
out
with
a better
us.
way.
It's fine.
Well, yes, true. We didn't know we would have the little "please hold while we move" things.
Yes, that I created that
Yes.
screen. Please
So
stand
with
by.
that, just don't let any of them tip over.
It's not the end of the world if one of them tips over today. We will want to cut one of them in half and make sure that they're, cooked. Yes,
Since it is pork,
this is pork.
it does have a required temperature.
Required internal temperature. Yes. I will want a spatula as well. But I gotta wait until the water has boiled off.
Well, see, now it picks up the crackling.
Yup. Fancy. Oh no, that one broke. And that one's ugly.
Ugly doesn't matter.
Actually, a couple of them. No, this one's not actually broken. It's
Just delaminating.
yeah,
the
just
dough a little.
delaminating a little bit on the dough.
That's okay.
I actually want to just grab one.
You can't put it back if it's not done. So you
Well.
should wait the time.
Okay.
Feel free to flip it over if you want. But you should wait the time.
Would you like me to flip them over?
Well, kinda. Yeah, that's why I'm standing over here.
Yeah.
And that's why you're wearing long sleeves.
Yup. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
So you don't have a timer going.
Because it's until the water goes off 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay. It's just since we have a whole bunch of oil in there, we're not really going to be able to tell when the popping is.
Yeah,
Due
I
to
should.
lack of
I should
water.
also. I should dump the oil before we do
You
the
should.
next. Yes. So, I am going to try one.
And I have a lovely heat thermometer right here. Oh, those are not done.
Not at all. Okay, I can actually put that one back in. See, I should
You put the lid back on.
put the lid back on. This is gonna take another
You should turn the heat down then, so that they don't burn.
yes. Give them another 2 minutes. Now that they're on the other side.
That was still pink.
That was still very big. Yes. That was not.
How much do you trust your grocery store meat sources?
If it's pork, not that much. We
No.
learned that lesson at Disney.
I know, right? You would expect the fancy restaurant at Disney not to food poison you.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did get to go through Disney on a wheelchair, which was very interesting, apart from the fact that I was on a wheelchair because if I stood up, I would throw up. It was still really interesting to see all the accessibility
Yeah.
bits. Or lack thereof.
Is that timer actually going? I think it is.
Yes.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
Well, that seems metal.
Woo!
Much more evaporated.
Yeah, that's.
That seems dangerous.
Well, this one that I cut in half is cooked.
Well, we got another one now.
Yeah. Can I have a fork?
Yeah.
There it goes. What? If you can't tell, I have a meat thermometer. That is done.
Okay.
Okay. Beep. Grab me a Cutco knife. I want to try one of the thick ones real quick.
Yeah, because that seemed really hard to cut through, which means it's going to be really hard to bite through.
Oops. The big one is not that one. Okay. So okay, gotta turn the heat back on then. Because that means some of the other big ones are also not done. And the lid goes back on in like another minute and that'll be done.
And for the next batch, we'll do a full 6 minutes of steaming.
Yes.
Because that's basically what it turns out as.
That smells amazing.
Yeah, it does. Now, technically, we should be eating this with a dipping sauce of soy sauce and vinegar, but since I put all that in there, I don't really care.
Yeah. Meh. Hot. That is a pot sticker. Like, that is...
Is it a chewy pot sticker?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Not in a bad way, though.
Not in a we kneaded the dough way too much way.
Okay. It reminds me, honestly, of the Chinese garden pot sticker skin. Or dough
Okay.
consistency.
It is my fun.
Okay. I'm going to cast another of the big one. I believe that'll be done. Yep, that is done now.
Okay.
Okay.
So take all those out.
And I'll just turn off the heat. Yes, please, Jesse, please. Look at these.
Those look quite nice.
They're crunchy on two sides because I flipped them.
Yeah, it's good. Because I like them that way.
Well. Put that into the Pyrex dish since it can handle it. That amount of oil was good though. So.
Maybe a tiny bit less. Okay.
Okay.
Let's start up the next batch and then we'll shut off the stream and go eat this batch.
Yep, that's kind of the plan. Well.
These need to cool before I try to eat
Yes,
them.
those need to cool before you try them.
Nice and crunchy.
Mm-hmm. Crunchy in places and chewy in other places, the way it should be.
Move these out of the way.
Yes, that would be optimal.
Rescue the ones that are done.
Yes. Well. Okay. Now, don't cover them for this bit.
3 minutes like that. Then the water. Then steam.
Yes.
For 5 to 6 instead of the
Yes.
1 to 2 that it says.
So,
For
well,
ours at least.
well, we hope that you enjoyed enjoyed joining us on this culinary adventure, Potstickers. And we'll hopefully see you next time.